Hello, students, and welcome back. HCAD 650, students of American Public University System. Here we are on week six, healthcare environment. By the way, I'm Dr. Dale Gooden. You can feel free to call me Dr. D, and it has been my privilege and pleasure to facilitate this course. And guess what? It isn't over. We still have actually plenty of weeks left, about 3 weeks left if we count all the way at the beginning of week six, seven, and eight. So you've made some really good progress, but there's certainly a long way to go. Here in week six, we'll talk about the healthcare environment. You'll be guided through discussions on ethics and laws with regards to the operation of healthcare organizations and how managers contribute to fraud, waste, and abuse efforts. And there's that positive assumption that they're contributing positively to turning the tide on fraud, waste, and abuse. And of course, we'll have plenty of opportunities to determine that in this particular module, where you will compare and contrast ethics and laws. You'll identify key legal issues such as malpractice and how that really impacts healthcare managers. You'll be able to differentiate between fraud and abuse. And we'll talk a little bit about waste too. They really all three go together. And then finally, you will should be able to and will be able to explain penalties for violating laws or acts. And they are very, very substantial, as you'll come to find out. Topics for discussion, we'll talk about the similarities of ethics behavior and legal behavior, beneficence and malnonfeasance or non-malfeasance, excuse me, the difference between fraud and abuse, and then the role of a compliance manager in that entire process. There are some takeaways from chapter 12 there, such as a safe environment, or when we look at the ethics of healthcare, there's this concept that physicians and by extension, people in leadership organizations where physicians have leadership, excuse me, is the do no harm. And that's a commitment not only at the top by physicians, but it trickles all the way down to the rank and file and allied health professionals. So, again, do no harm, which is a mandate for physician led organizations. An environment of care service strives for zero defects. Failures are always costly and sometimes disastrous. And when we talk about disastrous, we are indeed talking about fatalities there. Effective patient centered, timely, efficient, and equitable services are all important standards for the environment. The challenge for management is to establish these practices and meet the goals of excellence across a wide variety of service lines and specialties. Transformational culture and continuous quality improvement in the healthcare environment is critical. These are actually the foundations for clinical and environmental services. And then finally, disaster planning is essential. So we look at things like PITS, protocols, training, and drills should be rigorously performed by excellent healthcare organizations. As far as the reading for chapter six, or excuse me, I should say module six, in your two books, Transforming Healthcare, I want you to read chapters 7 and 8, please. And in the well managed healthcare organization, please read chapter 12. There's a very extensive lecture here, and it deals with, it compares and contrasts law and ethics. I'm not going to read any of that. I'll let you read all of that. Also talks about the role of compliance officers. What I do want to say, though, regarding ethics and laws, um, is that ethics and morals, they kind of, well, they do arise from society, from individual preferences, which then turn into societal preferences, morals, and values. And as society begins to embrace them and enforce them, they then become codified into law. And so when we look at laws, whether they be at the statutory level or at the highest levels of government, if it's fair to say that the kernel of truth and consensus and compliance are all formed from the morals and values of society, which over time have been codified into laws, statute, rules, and regulations. Their PowerPoint slides there are available for you too for chapter 12. In your discussion board posting in module 6, you're going to read chapter 6 in Transforming Healthcare. And they talk about the couple different departments there, the med surge department and the hyperbaric machines. And so, what you're going to do is talk about the challenges faced by these departments. What were some of the problems that they solved? And then, which stakeholder inputs seem to be the most important? And then, ultimately, what were the outcomes? So you want to choose one of these areas, either the ambulatory surgical experience or the Center for Hyperbaric Machines, and then just methodically answer those questions. What was the journey like to revitalize? What were some of the key challenges? What problems were solved? What methodology was used? Which stakeholders seemed to have the most influence? And then ultimately, what was the outcome? And just like any other discussion board or critical thinking assignment, I really want you to support your analysis with strong evidence, with peer review evidence, with scholarly evidence coming from peer reviewed journal articles, coming from textbooks, coming from .gov, coming from .edu. Those are going to be your four scholarly sources: articles from peer reviewed journals, academic textbooks, .edu, and .gov websites that are not blogs. And then finally, here in Module 6, you have a quiz. It is a 10-question quiz. The quiz is multiple choice, and each question is worth 1 point. And that is it for chapter 6, for module 6, for week 6. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am here for you. Office hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time by appointment. Bye for now. Look forward to participating with you on the discussion boards.